and the librarian was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you guys trivia questions, and if you get one right, I'll give you guys some candy." She gives me a blow pop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next person answers, right? And this guy, he gets a chocolate bar. I'm like, wait, that's not fair, dude. I gotta make this right. I gotta change this. I pickpocket him. I take his candy bar. I put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
He's complaining. He's like, "Oh, dude, I don't know where I put my candies. It's gone." And the teacher's like, "Where did you put it?" Put my stash in my backpack real quick. My neighbor sees me. I toss him a lollipop to keep him quiet. I come home and my brother's like, "Oh, damn, you got candy?" I'm like, "Yeah, boy. I'm a good kid."
A time when we've done something stupid.
Hi, welcome to the Memory Club podcast. We're like a book club, but we share our memories instead.
Hi, I'm Vit.
Hey, my name is James.
And we've been on a little bit of hiatus, but we're back. Took a little break.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're back now.
Yep, more of the, Vin and James little combination, having just a little fun. Just, discussing about the random topics that from our memories.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep. So during our time off, not for me, but actually Vin you went a little traveling, right?
Correct.
So because of that, I want to just ask you, how was your travel? And then for our TMI, what are your favorite vacation or travel spots?
Actually, so I went to a couple of places. I went to Asia. I went to Taiwan, Singapore, and Thailand. And it was really nice. The way this group traveled, it was more like we scheduled something to do, like go to visit a temple or go to a point of interest, whatever it was. Then we pretty much in between those, we would take little coffee breaks or boba breaks, and we pretty much just talked. We talked about dating. We talked about life. We talked about random stuff, and then during those little sessions, we had my friend was like, "Oh, dude, this should be a podcast right here." Talking like this should be a podcast,
okay.
So yeah, it was kind of funny, but my favorite, and also the group's favorite, was this place in Taiwan. It's called Geofin, and it's similar. If you ever watch Spirited Away, there's a town with all the lanterns. It's pretty similar to that. So it was really nice. We got there super early, and it started downpouring, and it was raining. So then we stopped by a tea shop, and we just pretty much had some tea and drank and pretty much talked about a little bit of this and that. And then we waited till nighttime, and it got really scenic. The lanterns and the rain is just hit at the right vibe, And yeah, we just walked around. It's a big night market. And yeah, that was our favorite spot for the whole trip, or at least my travels so far. What about you?
That's pretty cool. I always feel like those Asian spots, those Asian lanterns, they're always so aesthetic,
Yeah.
I do really like that look. For me, I would have to say the favorite one that I've been to is Italy. Particularly Rome, and I think it was a combination of things. I think I went to I went with a family, my mom's side of the family, and then we went on different tours, right, with tour guides. And these tour guides are so good. They were so knowledge, and they're really funny. So they're not just talking they're reading off of a prompt or anything. It's more like you just go in there, you hang out with someone that's really knowledgeable about all these materials, right? So like they just come in and they just like tell you all these different arts and the background stories and oh, this person had to do this to get this painting done or this and this. And that made the whole experience of like looking at museums and arts and sculptures and all those things made it a lot more enjoyable. Because I feel like as someone that's never studied those kind of things, like I never studied like the arts and the history and architects and those kind of things like these people have, right? So when I look at these paintings, I'm just like, it's a painting. It's a sculpture, right? Like it's a famous painting, so like, oh, that's cool. But then once you know the story and like what to look out for, it makes it a lot more memorable experience. So I would definitely recommend going there. Just the architecture, it's like amazing, beautiful, good food. But yeah,
I heard my brother said the pizza is different. He said he likes the pizza here better than the one in Italy.
They are very different.
Do you feel the same different. Or no?
Okay, so
it's okay. The pizza here is better.
I've had really good pizza here in America. When I went to New York.
You talking about Domino's pizza?
yeah, Domino's from New York Pizza. Okay. But no. Like I'm pretty sure everyone that lives in New York knows about this. It's called Prince Street Pizza. They have like the best pepperoni pizza, and I'm not like a pepperoni person. So for me to enjoy pepperoni pizza is like amazing. But on average, right? Just like on average, what you would get from like a regular pizza place, like you said, Domino's, Pizza Hut, and those kind of places, I would say Italy pizza is better, right?
Okay.
It's better. I think, it's less. I don't know. It's
probably
it's
like
different.
less.
I think that their focus. I think their focus is more on the original ingredients flavor profile more than like American profile. American is like very saucy, yeah. I don't want to say like it's saltier in America just because Italian food is very salty as well. But yeah, it's simple. It's like dough, cheese, and like tomato sauce, or add a basil on top of it. You know, I almost said basil because I've seen like a Gordon Ramsay video before, and that's his basil. But yeah, so I definitely recommend trying their pizza and pasta. It's different. I enjoy their pasta better. So
that's good to know. I haven't really traveled Europe, so yeah, maybe I'll add it to the list. Do you want to start with our topic? Do you want to let us know what the topic is?
Yeah, so today's topic is we're gonna go a little bit more lighthearted. It's gonna be a time when we've done something stupid. All right, so like a time where we look back and we're like, God, that was so stupid of me to do that. So
wait, so how did you pick your moment? Like how did you, I guess, like calibrate this, like, okay, this is stupid, like I need to choose this one.
So I think I've done something, okay, not gonna lie, one, I think it has to have comical value, right? So I'm just like, all right, it has to be something funny, something I've done that was like, I look back and I'm like, I don't know what was going through my head to do this. So stupid of me. And I didn't choose something that's like super like detrimental to like my just well-being or career or anything like that. So just something like a very like lighthearted, something like we can look back and just laugh at, you know? How about you?
Yeah, I did the James technique. The first couple of things that came to my mind.
Oh,
the James technique, you know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, what's stupid? And then the first couple of memories. And I just like chose from those. See which one was most what I thought was kind of funny, and things like that.
Yep. All right, so now that we discussed that, I'll start us off with my first story. Okay. So it's a pretty short story, but so this is when I was in high school, and I was in sophomore year in high school, and then I was in an English class, and I don't know, we were doing activities, so everybody was kind of like standing and like not sitting on, and then like it's a little bit like chaotic, right? Because we're doing like standing up activities, and I wanted to use that moment to like, because I was like just goofing around, and I was a goofball in high school, right? And I just did these random things. I just wanted to pants my friend, so I pantsed him, and the teacher didn't see that he got pantsed. She only saw like he was pantsless. So she got mad. She's like, she was like, "Hey, what are you doing taking your pants off?"
Wait, so she blamed it on him?
She blamed it on him, but then he was like, "No, it was James. He pantsed me." And then, and then she was like, "But okay." So another thing is, I'm a goofball, but then in class, I'm kind of quiet, right? It's like I don't talk. I don't get in troubles in class. So she was like, initially, I was like, "James pants you?" James, like that James, that kid, like Asian kid who like is staying quiet in class all the time. But she believed him, and then she was like, "James, go to the what is that called? Dean's office, right?" So I go to the dean's office, and I'm just waiting there, and I'm like, God, what am I gonna do? Like I'm in so much trouble. I'm in dean's office. I've never been like in this like stage before, and I go in, right, and he asks like, "Oh, like I heard what happened. Why did you pants him?" And I'm just like why? I'm like, shit, I'm just doing it, like I just wanted to do it. But for some reason I was thinking like I have to make up a legitimate excuse, like a good excuse for me to get out of this situation, right? So I was like, all right, come on, I gotta come up with a good excuse. So I'm like, oh, so like I didn't mean to pants him. I actually slipped and fell and grabbed onto his pants. Stupid. And that pulled his pants down.
What the? Did they buy it?
And he like looked at me where he's like, "You fell and accidentally pulled his pants down." And I was like, I was like all in. I'm like, "Yep, that's what happened." Yep.
You doubled down.
I doubled down, and he was like, I think because I doubled down, he wanted to at least like check it, right? So he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go check with your teacher after lunch, and we'll see what happens," right? So like he let me go, and then after lunch, I don't know how I got the notification, but like I think he called me back in to go to the dean's office, and I went back in, and he's like something about, oh, like if you just told the truth and didn't lie to me, like I probably would have been like okay with it. But because you lied to me, I'm gonna suspend you today, and then you're gonna have to do Saturday work, which is like you come to school on Saturday morning and you have to pick up trash. But
do you think that's true?
I don't know why I thought.
Do you think that's true? I feel like he would give you the same thing. I don't know.
I don't know, but maybe, I don't know. I don't think if I just went to him and was like, "Hey, I just wanted to pants this guy."
Exactly.
Like, I don't think that would have made a difference, but it definitely was not a good excuse to be like, "Oops, I fell and oh no." It's like, he probably was like, "This kid must be, must think I'm stupid to believe this story." But I think he wanted to give a benefit of doubt to at least double check, just in case that was true, and he's like punishing me for the wrong reasons. But yeah, so that was the time when I done something incredibly stupid.
Okay, so my take is I probably wouldn't be in the situation because I don't do chaotic stuff. Like, I'm chaotic, but I'm not that chaotic, like where I'm just like doing random stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what got into me at that moment. I was just like
that's so chaotic. Like,
I'm like
like, like it's just like I'm gonna start some shit. I'm gonna just like pants. Like, okay, you had to have some reason, right? Like, there had to be some reason. Did you think it would be funny, or did you think it would be like?
Dude, I will say this. It's like so the high school I went, right? So there's like the gate classes and the honor classes, and that's where all the like Asian kids and the smart kids and the well behaving kids are, right? So I wasn't in those classes in the first 2 years, so at least the English class, because like I'm still like English is my second language, so like it wasn't my best, right? So I went to CP English class, which is like honestly it's not more difficult, but I would say like
it's not that tough. It's like
it's not that tough, but then the students are usually a lot more like troublemaker kids, So like the classroom's like vibe is like a little bit like troublemaking kids, and I think I just got like incepted. I'm just like I'm one of those rebels. I just want to pants this kid.
Okay.
I probably thought it was funny, honestly. I mean, if the teacher didn't catch it, like it probably would have been funny, honestly. But that class had some like a lot of troublemaker and weird kids. Like this one kid, he would get a stapler and then he would like go like this.
Like staple his hand?
Staple his arm, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like,
I remember that. Like I remember a lot of people used to do that. Like they would staple their hand, or they would like staple their like hand, and then they would like rip their like skin. I'm not sure. It was just like I feel like it was just like I don't know,
attention seeking, probably. Like oh, I'm so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a lot of that going on. So I think I just got caught in the moment where like it was chaotic, rowdy. I don't think I'm gonna get caught. I'm just like, and a lot of kids back in our time, they sag their pants. So I'm just like, whoop, might as well pull it all down.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's so crazy that you would just like do something like that. I just feel like if I was in that moment, or if I was the one getting pants too, I'd be like, dude, what the heck? This is so random. This guy just like, this quiet ass kid just randomly pulls my pants down. Were you cool with the kid at least? Like, were you like...
Yeah. Okay. No hard feelings. No hard feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. No hard feelings. Yeah, that was my story.
Yeah. I kind of have I had a school story too. But I'm going to switch it up. But it is a childhood story. So my memory is when I was a little kid. I used to be super like emotional and I didn't know what to do with it. So anytime I had like a turmoil or something, some type of conflict, I would just like act up. I would just kind of like go crazy and like just like do something so I would get like the attention or like resolve the situation pretty much. So this one time my dad, he didn't let me do something. Like maybe it was like go to a field trip. This happened multiple times. Like he maybe didn't let me go to a field trip, or he maybe didn't let me do certain things or have certain things. And when I feel something is unfair, I would just like act up like as a kid. So this one time I was like, you know what? This is so unfair. I should be able to go on this field trip. Like all the other kids are going on a field trip. Like why can't I go on this field trip?
Right. It's unfair.
So, yeah, I was like, this is so unfair. And my solution as a 9-year-old kid was like, you know what? I'm a run away, dude. I'm a freaking run away. So I ran away. But as a little kid, when you run away, you don't really have a plan. Like you just like, I'm gonna just do it. So I ran away, and I think they didn't notice until like a little bit later. And then they started like searching for me in the block. And then they finally found me. And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm running away. And then they got out of their car and they try to get me. And then it was funny because I would go to the neighbor's house and I'll be like, oh, don't come closer, or I'm I'm going to ring the doorbell and tell the neighbor that, you're being bad parents or something like that.
Oh my god.
So,
oh my god.
And then my dad's like, what the heck is going on here, dude? This kid.
I know.
This kid is having a moment, dude. So, but then like my dad would talk me out of it, and then I would just go to the car and basically I would just go home. But like in that moment, I was like so frustrated, and I was like, dude, I gotta do something. And that's so crazy because that was pretty much my whole childhood, where when I see something unfair, I would just like I would just like act up. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions, and I would just like I was like, dude, this is so unfair. I need to do something about it. So how would you ever do something like that? Or you probably wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't. I was a good kid when I was little, for the most part.
Besides like pantsing people, right?
Yeah, besides for the pantsing people, I was a good kid. I think the only time I got in big trouble with my parents was like I got like $20 from my like aunt for like something. I forgot what it was. Like they gave me just like allowance, like $20.
Okay.
And like this is in elementary school, and $20 was like such a big money to me at the time, right? Because my mom would sometimes give me like $1. Like this is in Korean currency, by the way, too. So so $1 in like when I go to school sometimes to like buy something I want or buy like food, something like that. And I was really into like arcades at the time, so like I got this $20 and I showed it to my 3 other friends, and I was like, yo guys, I got $20. Let's go to arcade. And after school, so like we went to arcade. And for $20 at arcade in Korea at the time, you could spend for hours with 4 people playing too. So we were spending like hours after school just playing video games or arcade games. And then, but the thing is, I didn't tell my parents, right? We don't have phones or anything at the time, right? So like my parents, and like I had like piano lessons after school normally that I would go to. So like, but then I never showed up to the piano lesson.
Dude.
And yeah, so my parents freaked out because like I was just missing for like until like 6 p.m.
How old were you?
This was like when I was like 11, maybe 10.
Okay.
So like my parents were like hella worried, right? So like I was on my way back home, right, with my friends, like walking back. We had so much fun time, and then I see my dad like driving past, and he like I got in the car, and then like they don't have to say anything to know that I'm in trouble, like. So I like yeah, they took me home, and then my dad beat the shit out of me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm exaggerating when they beat the shit out of me. The way my dad used to hit me is like would be like he'd be like get on the wall, and then he hits me in the butt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with like a bamboo stick.
Okay.
He wasn't like just like swinging.
Yeah.
That's like a child abuse, but yeah. But that's the only time I got in like big trouble with my parents. Where like, but other than that, like I never really did anything to like really defiant or like I'm a rebel against my parents. I was a good kid.
That's crazy. I feel like I'm not saying you're I'm not saying you're a bad person now or anything like that, or
word it carefully, okay? My image is dependent on this. Okay?
I'm saying is I feel like I got my bad like kind of tendencies out of the way as a kid. Like I did a lot of bad stuff. I was a super bad kid. Like dude, this one time okay, another thing with unfairness, right? So this one time and this is a tangent, this isn't planned or anything, but we were in the library and we're doing pretty much like trivia, and the librarian was like, oh, I'm gonna give you guys trivia questions, and if you get one right, I'll give you guys some candy. And then I raise my hand, I get it right, and she gives me a blow pop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next person answers, right? And this guy, he gets a chocolate bar. I'm like, wait, that's not fair, dude. I answered the same, like, similar question. And you can give me a blow pop? Dog, that's not fair, dude. A blow pop? And this guy get a king-size candy bar? Oh, hell nah, dude. That's not right.
So you fall for it?
And then, like, this other guy, he gets another candy and this and that, right? And then going back to class, I'm like thinking in my head, dude, this is not fair. I gotta make this right. I gotta change this. So what I did is I went up to that guy. I was like, oh, dude, good like answering that question. And while we're talking, I pickpocket him. I take his candy bar. I put it in my pocket.
God damn, dude, you're a naughty kid.
And then I take, because he answered 2 questions. I took his lollipop too. So I took both of his candies. So then I go back. I go back to my seat. And this other kid, or that one kid I pickpocket, he's complaining. He's like, oh, dude, I don't know where I put my candies. It's gone. And the teacher's like, where did you put it? And then I got to hide my stash. So I put my stash in my backpack real quick. My neighbor sees me, and he's like, "Oh, you have it!" I toss him a lollipop to keep him quiet, and I throw the other stuff in my bag, and he's like, "Okay, I got you." And then we're good. So I come home, and then I come home, and my brother's like, "Oh, damn, you got candy?" I'm like, "Yeah, boy, I'm a good kid," and I share it with like my brothers and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." God. So then, like, dude, I don't know why as a kid, I was like, everything that was unfair, I was like, dude, this is so unfair. I'm going to do something about it. Like, that was my thing as a kid. Like, I literally would do anything. And it was kind of scary because to be in that mindset is, it's kind of dangerous sometimes.
Damn, but, dude.
Yeah.
Damn. Child beard was different.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, if you grew up with me, that's why my brothers are like, dude, you changed a lot. Like, if you grow up with me, you see, like, I changed. It's for the better though, cause I wouldn't want to be in that mindset nowadays. That's it's too extreme and
too extreme.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you ever see that side come out like here and there, or is it like completely gone?
I think it does come out into a sense, but it's not to that extreme where I would do anything and, everything, because I still see what possibilities are possible to maneuver to change what is fair and unfair and what is like realistic in a sense. But I do see that needing to kind of to find justice, but I don't even see it for me. I see it for other people too. Like when some of my like girlfriends, they get scammed and stuff, it just like, that's one thing. That's one thing that I'm like, dude, all right, we gotta find justice for you. Like I'm like, dude, this is not fair. Like, and I kind of get like upset in a sense. Like, oh, this is not fair. I just don't like my friends or like anybody being family or anybody being scammed. That's a no for me. But yeah, that's the mentality of child a bit. It's kind of polarizing because you and me were totally different children. We're children, like different mentality.
Different mentality, very much, yeah.
But back to your point, I have a little tangent too. So I feel like so I see there's like kind of 2 types of people. There's 2 types of people I feel like, just like kind of like, and this is a generalization. I feel like there's 2 types of people in like this world. I feel like there's like that person that kind of deals with what themselves, what they value, what they think versus the group or like their social group, what they think, what they value. And then there's also that other person where it's like they're playing this battle of balancing the chaos and like control. And I feel like you're kind of like the chaos and control type. I feel like because you do like this pantsing thing is like so chaotic. It's so like it is so random. Like it's like so out of there. How do you feel about that idea? I'm not sure.
You're gonna have to explain it again. So like, you're saying there's like a person that's crazy and chaotic mindset, and then there's all what?
So there's a person that it's more of they're like chaotic in nature, and versus a person that's like control. So it's like
I see.
Yeah. So do you see yourself struggling with that? Do you see yourself like it's not like you guys like not everybody is just one thing. It's more like polarizing. So whether if you start off as chaotic, you might be polarizing in the sense that you're so safe in a time of your life or like a moment in your life, and then you switch over to you're so chaotic right now, but like there's no in between, or like it's hard to reach that in between. That's what you're working at like your whole life.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would say I'm definitely more chaotic, more free flow. Because I think I value that free flowing nature of like handling things and yeah. I think it works better when you handle different situations. Of course, like I think there's pros and cons for both. Which is why I try to incorporate control and consistency into my life. You know, like
was there a time where you're like super safe, like where you're like, oh, I'm like taking my sweet time just doing certain things, and like you know, like you wouldn't take as many opportunities or things like that, like where you feel like you're super safe, super structured, super
I mean,
controlled.
I would say no matter how chaotic you are, you're not you have fears. I think it's not the matter of it's not that I don't think it's a matter of like people who are chaotic or people who are not super controlled. I don't think it's a matter of like they don't have fear or they don't fear the risk, right? I think it's that they don't do the risk assessment or the fear assessment where they just do things. There's no assessment done before.
Yeah.
But once you actually have fear of something to do, like the reason why I feel like I never went like full head on with my music career or singing is because I was scared to like just jump into that kind of like mindless thing just without a plan, you know. I think there is a sense of that, of course. And I think it also has to be case by case, you know, like things like your career is gonna be something that's gonna be much more detrimental, or you know, like it's gonna have heavy consequences if you don't make the right choices. So those kind of things, of course, we think about it more. But I think, like this podcast, you know, like I'm definitely a lot more like a free flow. Like I feel like some people when they wanted to come talk to on the podcast, they need to have it outlined like point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. For me, I'm just like I have this point, and then if I feel like I'm gonna go this way, I'll probably go this way, or I have a general idea what I'm gonna do. Even when I make my presentations for like for classes, like I think I sound very natural when I make my presentations because I don't have a script. I feel like as long as I am 100% knowledgeable in what I'm talking about, then I can just free flow at the presentation. I'm just like, because it bugs me when people are like just like, so point 1 and just slide, it just read lines, read, and I'm like, dude, like like anyone can do that. You could bring someone from a street and have them stand here and then read that. Really, so that's just me.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I do the listing. Like you see my notes for the podcast. I do the like points, but then I also free flow too. So I feel like I'm a little bit in between. I'm not too free flowy.
I think I'm more free flowy than you are, but you're also like free flowy in a sense too. I think, but like like another level ahead.
Yeah, I can't get on your level, but I need a little bit of structure. That's why I'm always like, for this podcast, I'm like, oh, we need structure, James. We need structure.
And I was like, no, bro.
But it's good.
Just go with the feeling. I agree. I think
it's good. It's good balance. I think it is good balance.
I think so too. I agree. I think what you have to do is understand what pros and cons that structures have and what pros and cons that free flow nature has, and be able to mold into those like a type for the right right results that you're trying to get, right? So I think when you have a certain project, and I think you need to get A, B, C, D, E done, right? And it needs to be a lot more coordinated. I think that having structure and that control is really good. And I think when you need to make changes in your lifestyle habits, I think when it's structured, it's a little easier, right? Because you just follow it, right? Simple mind doesn't take a lot of mental energy.
Do you feel like, because I see this pattern where a lot of the like people that are control type, like my older brother, he would be so controlling and like so like micromanaging that sometimes I feel like he would create chaos. But nowadays he's like more go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So like, do you feel like a lot of people flip flop, kind of like, or like they try to seek balance in a sense that they do overcompensate and they flip flop, or do you see that in yourself?
I think it depends. I feel like some people, I think this is, okay, I could be wrong. I don't want to misrepresent anyone out there. So if I'm misrepresenting you, feel
just
like
your experiences. You can talk from just your experiences.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make sure no, don't get but offended. All right, like chill out.
Cancel
okay?
shield.
Chill
cancel
out.
Shield.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, all jokes aside, I think I tend to see people who are like a control freaks have a harder time breaking out of that mold than free flow. I think because by nature that chaotic free flowy, you're gonna just go through a lot more mistakes and consequences for your actions, right? So because you're like, oh, I've done this and that was a bad mistake. Oh, I've done this and that was a bad mistake. So I think by nature, you're like, well, I should definitely incorporate more control next time, even though I don't want to. I think by nature, you're more likely to like learn that kind of a thing. So like for me, I think I was definitely a lot more free nature, like just no control, no structure. Back in like when I was younger. I think nowadays I definitely like having structure on a lot of different things.
Could you give me an example of what you like in like that's super structured, or like could be anything?
I think mostly like I think what I try to incorporate a lot is I realize it's a lot easier for you to develop a healthy habit when it's structured. So like if you're trying to eat healthier, right? Like back into this, if I'm trying to eat healthier, I'm just like, okay, like all right, what should I eat? And I just look to the fridge and I like choose healthy, and I just like kind of go and I'm just like, so every time I would want to make a healthy choice, it would be a mental energy that I would have to use to make those choices. And it's hard to develop it into a good habit because like it's hard to stay motivated like that, right? But I think when you make it structured and make it easy on yourself, like I think structure makes it easier. Like if you just like say, I'm gonna prepare this for eating this at this time, like I'm gonna eat this much at this time. I think when you do that, it just like you just do it. You don't have to like constantly. You don't. It's like less of a mental energy and challenge to follow structure than like constantly always have to do that. So I think that and then like workouts, and yeah. But I think I still appreciate like a good, just like a go with the flow kind of mindset. Yeah, but
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to this episode?
I think that's it. I feel like I kind of talked a lot this episode when we went tangent.
Yeah, that's a good tangent.
But yeah, that's a good tangent. I think that's about it.
All right. Well, this week we had a shorter episode. Mm-hmm. Thanks for tuning in. Mm-hmm. Next week we'll have a guest, So look out for that. You guys can see us in social media. We have an Instagram, TikTok, and a YouTube. So, and then our Anchor page has everything. Our also the Instagram has all the links that you like if you wanted to check us out. We appreciate the support. My name is Vit.
And my name is James.
And we're the Memory Club Podcast. We're like a book club, but we share memories. Peace.
Peace.
Our intro music was produced by Nightwave.